Welcome to the Caribbean Property Investing Podcast, where we share real-life experiences for successful Caribbean property entrepreneurs. Learn about their successes, challenges, and strategies to help you create your plan for financial freedom. Now let's get started.
Welcome to episode 47 of the Caribbean's Property Investing Podcast. Our background is very different today. It's carnival season in Saint Lucia. And as I said to you before, in the last couple of episodes, we'll be changing the look, improving our production, and just giving you an elevated experience. Most people know today's guest as one of the most recognizable voices on Saint Lucia Radio. As a prominent MC for the Saint Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival, national pageants, national calypso, national soca monarch, national groovy soca monarch, as well as even a contestant and performer.
They're begging us not to mash up. When I tell you party mash up, if I tell you road go mash up this, mash up that, retro went and put it flat. Imagine your mother on a hospital bed, and all of them doctors say maybe she going dead. Well, there is a medication that can save a life. I need right behind that fence. Saint Lucia, come and get it tonight. Everybody!
He's also a media house founder. Some people may know him as one or all of the following names: Pringles, Superman HD, or by his government name, Kwency Griffith. What many may not know is that quietly he's been building something very different outside of media and performance, something very quiet. Very steady.
The stars come out.
A property investment portfolio that's helping create long-term financial freedom for himself and for his family. Today, we'll discover how that journey unfolded. We'd like to welcome to the podcast Mr. Kwency Griffith. Kwency, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. What an intro, boy. Normally I'm the one introducing people, and giving them all that. I figure, to me, I want you to do that on a stage, answer.
But I don't know if I can pull it off, because this show is not live. But we try to give our guests the flowers, because we recognize that without them we have no show. And the whole idea of the podcast is to identify, celebrate, learn from, and share good and bad lessons of our guests. Like we said, you are a well-known, a household name in Saint Lucia and probably across the Caribbean as well. So tell us about Mr. Kwency Griffith. Live before broadcasting.
Boy, live before broadcasting was quite a bit. It was I'm just a little boy from Masha. I'm a little boy from Masha that had not too much going for him, Here I am thinking I knew what I wanted. And for the normal young person, they wanted to be this politician, this lawyer, this doctor. I wanted to be a lawyer. I couldn't afford it. I wanted everything they wanted. All I wanted to be is not poor.
That's a good thing not to want to be.
Yeah, that's it. Who do you want to be when you grow up? Not poor. All right, because it was hard. It was hard growing up. We didn't have much, the normal carry water here, do this there. I have to work a little job here. I've worked at little supermarkets everywhere. This guy, Albert Kibes. This guy, he knows me of a very tender age, because I worked for his mom. There was a supermarket in the back store. So that's what I'm, this little person from Masha who decided I do not want to be struggling all my life.
You said something a while ago, and I know I can say this with confidence, that most of our audience, most members of our audience, most viewers and listeners do not know what it means to carry water.
Yeah, boy, I carried water from different standpipes. I get in fights at standpipes already because I want to fill my jerrycan first. You have to fill up that and and all of that. So, yeah, I've been there. I know what it is to share a floor with my other siblings because we're sleeping on what we call cabin.
Fluff. All clothes.
Cool clothes.
Yeah.
Cloth. We sleep on the floor.
And in the morning, you have to put it out to dry.
Put it out to dry because your younger sibling may be peeing up. Yeah, so but I mean, humble beginnings.
Yeah.
Humble beginnings, and I'm not at all, regretful. I don't feel bad about where I came from. I don't, because I think this is what created who I am today.
And let's segue to broadcasting. How did you get into broadcasting?
This had always been a dream of mine. I wanted to do this, just as a thing. I didn't see myself even owning a radio station. That's just something I wanted to do, because from a very tender age, I was normally the MC for the show. I was normally this. And I got an opportunity. I got a call from Mindy. Mindy Jordan. I got a call from
Mindy the Bomb Jordan.
Mindy the Bomb Jordan. I got a call from Mindy one day because she knew about that dream. And she said to me, my boy, there's an opening at the Wave. The Wave. That's my foundation when it comes to radio. There's an opening at the Wave and you should come. But it's not on the radio, it's in sales. And I said, no problem. Let me come. So I took the interview, knowing full well that I didn't want to do sales. I wanted to be on the radio. But I figured if I have a foot inside, then when the opportunity, presents itself, then boom, I'm already in. I'm already there. And so I took the job doing sales. I got very good at it. and then Philo fought my case when the opportunity presented itself to be on air. Phil Grim Louisi.
Who was the engineer
He was
for the station at the time?
who still is, mind you. He's still the engineer. So he fought the case. He said, give him a chance because, I think he can do it. I got that chance. And I hit the ground running. As a matter of fact, I was criticized in the very beginning where they said I wouldn't last too long because that excitement is not normal. Energy got a radio, that's not normal. And then my good friend Claudius Francis, one day he criticized me and it almost broke me. I felt really bad. And I'm like, really, man? But however, we became very good because and I think I just grew there was this level of respect that I have for him. Why? Because that same platform that he used to give me that harsh criticism, later on, he went onto that platform without knowing, and he said, listen, he was wrong.
Can you share in a nutshell what was that criticism? Do you remember?
It's almost like he's like, but where did I come from? He's loud and he's boisterous and it's almost like this is not normal radio, and he criticized that. But however, afterward, being the man that he is, he went back and he said, this man is good. He's good, and he corrected himself, and I met him after. So all of that happened, and I did not meet him. I met him after, and I said to him, I appreciate this. I appreciate what you did.
You said for a long time you knew you wanted to be on radio. What do you think attracted you to radio?
I don't know. I guess it's just the I don't even know. I probably just had something to say. I wanted people to hear it. Because I always had a lot to offer as a child. I mean, I was quite the Michael Jackson man, let me tell you, it's the moonwalk, all kind of thing. I had Jerry curls.
So you're a performer?
Yeah, man.
You think you fit? Yes. You can make it? Yes. You have the stamina? Yes. Do you have the stamina? Yes. Are you a party animal? Yes. Do you love the bacchanal? Yes. So you mad for carnival? Yes. You bad for carnival? Yes. You tired? No. You ready to go home? No. Take a stop with jam. No. Take a stop with jam. No. You want to mash it up? Yes. You want to mash it up? Yes. You want to mash it up? Saint Lucia, let me mash. Mash up this.
Quite the entertainer. I had Jerry curls, But it wasn't all that because my cousin had some left in a can and they put it in my head, so someone had some, I was quite the entertainer, quite the performer, and I grew up, entertaining. And when I listened to, some of the greats, and I said, I can do this, and I think I can be very good at this.
So you moved from sales to get an opportunity to broadcast at that first station. When did you move from from the wave to your next video? How did you transition and how long did it take?
I moved on. The wave, I must say, they taught me structure. The wave, because of their structure and their formatting, I learned that, and I had to take that with me because, on radio and on my soca stage, I'm chaotic, I'm crazy. However, there must be some sort of structure in the chaos for it to come out there for people to be able to relate. All right. So afterward, however, truth be told, this is real. I can say whatever I feel.
This is a conversation.
Good.
People want to know.
I felt like, I'm a creative person, and I don't like anything holding me back. And at some point, because of the structure, because it was so, intense, I needed to spread my wing because I felt I have more to offer. So then I went over to RCI. The year that I left the wave, I took a little time off because my daughter was about to be born. And so I just wanted to take my time to meet my daughter, to spend some time with my daughter. And I was so excited because I always wanted a daughter. I already had 2 sons. I always wanted a daughter. So that was coming. So I had to wait. And I remember leaving, and I think what made me feel good is that every single media house made me an offer. I got offers from everywhere. Come and we'll do this and we'll do that. I landed with RCI. I think it was Thaddeus Antoine that called me on their behalf. I got some calls. And then when I went there, I went in because it was more me. So now RCI gave me the space to spread my wings and do things. You understand? So I stayed there for quite a little while.
So all in all, how many years at the wave and how many years at RCI?
I think I did about 8 years at the wave and probably another 4 or 5 at RCI.
So in all, you broadcasting as a DJ, as an announcer for 13 years.
There.
Roughly, yeah.
And then I moved over to Vybe Radio.
Hold on, pause. We'll take our first break. For those of you just joining, we are now at the studios of Vybe Radio. It's carnival season. We're actually still some time after during the morning segment after the Breakfast Fete show. So there's food, there's drinks, there's carnival costumes, there's mannequins, there's music. It's a festive scene right now. Join us after the break. We're going to hear about the launch of the new radio station, this new entrepreneurial journey for Kwency. See you right. Hi, I'm Ansel Mathre, founder of Calabash Condos Developments by Freedom Fund Inc. and the Caribbean's first property investing podcast. When I started some 20 years ago, it seemed nearly impossible, but BOSL believed in my vision. BOSL has truly been an amazing financial partner. And now, with the elite Builders Capital product, BOSL has created something specifically tailored for property developers like me. So if you're interested and serious about real estate development, BOSL is the partner that truly understands your needs. They're ready to support you every step of the way.
Face down reach your toe. Let the whistle blow. Let the whistle work. Bad girl, give them the whistle.
Look Pringles. Look Pringles. Look Pringles. Things stop. Pringles in the place. That's sounding like got me in the place, y'all. Anyway. People, let me tell you something. Prizes and surprises and things happen and things didn't happen. Hey, it's Breakfast Fete. Y'all see that?
Welcome back. So from a boy who just didn't know what he wanted to do, but for sure he knew he didn't want to be poor. Got on radio, 13 years, second station, and he has a decision to make. He has decided that it's time for him to go on his own. What lessons would you say you learned from your time, more than a decade, in the 2 radio stations where you wanted more freedom, and you got it? What lesson you would say that you learned that would have prepared you to go and start this new venture? Tell us about what the impetus was and what you decided to do.
When I made the decision to leave the other radio station, I knew that at this point I did not want to work for anybody else. I wanted to do my own thing. And there are several things that contributed to this. One, not that I don't follow rules, but I follow rules. Everybody would say to you when it's time for work, I'm on point. I am always there. I've been at work on oxygen, believe it or not. And I just wanted to be able to make the decision sometimes. There are things that you want to do, but then so much red tape that you just can't do it, and then great ideas just die and all of that. And I wanted to do that because, again, like I said, I have something to offer. I have something new. I have something fresh. I see the future of radio. Mind you, I always said that radio, in 10 years after I started it, 10 years after I started it, pretty soon FM radio would be almost obsolete. I said that, yet still I had this dream. I learned, however, looking from the outside, when you're not in management, when you're just coming in, get your salary, you don't have to show up if you don't want to show up, you can call in sick and all of that. I learned the hard way that this is not so. You work 10 times harder for yourself. Mm-hmm. Okay, I learned that. I also learned that the ease of doing business in Saint Lucia wasn't exactly easy. It wasn't an ease. I learned that because I went to several financial institutions, and when I went there, I got turned away. They said to me, I'm sorry, we don't do startup. We don't do startup. I'm sorry. I remember going to one, I'm not going to say their name, but I went to that one and I gave them this whole proposal that they absolutely loved. And they said to me, this is good. Can we make copies for our other people coming in so that we can show them an example of what we want? And they took it and they said yes. And when I went back to them, they said to me, well, we can approve something for you to start, but you must give us 6 months up front. So I said to them, why give you all 6 months up front? And I need that. Why not? I said to them, you know what? Forget that. And I went into my savings and I zeroed out. It was scary. It wasn't anything like I expected it to be. It got really scary, and I remember sitting down one day on my bed and crying and deciding, boy, do I want to do this? Can I do this? I remember starting, I'm getting all emotional. I remember starting, this is not supposed to be. This has been so long. This is not supposed to be. I remember starting and having nobody. The only people who believed in me then, I mean, aside from my family, was Shea Island Cotton Shop, Dr. Stephen King, Laboratory Services, and to date, they're still here with me, and Caribbean Metals. These people, no matter what was going on, they just had my back. They stayed. You know, and I'm thinking, I must be doing something good. Yeah. But still, nothing's coming, you know. It took a while getting there. So one of the lessons I learned was, boy, you know what happened? Everybody you think you know or that would have you when you're about to start your thing, erase that now. Erase it. Take it out of your head. You're the one doing this.
On your own.
On your own. Don't put that responsibility on anybody to think they know me and so they're going to support me. I had a lot of people saying, don't you worry, open your thing, my boy, and we're going to be there. There was that. You know, so that's what. So it took me a little while, hard work, day and night. Sometimes the wee hours of the morning, I finished putting up, you know, things in the studio. And I finish after 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and I have to come back on the radio at 5 to make sure that, you know, we're sounding good.
So, the primary reason you intimated that you wanted to do this was because you wanted to do it your way, and you felt that you had more to offer than what you were allowed to.
Yeah.
What opportunity did you see in the market that made you feel that there was a chance with your idea?
You want me to be very honest?
Always.
I might sound crazy saying that. None.
No opportunity.
None.
But you empty out your savings to go on your own.
Sound crazy, right?
So what was the plan?
To make my opportunities. Create my space. Make them listen. Yeah.
You say we're not supposed to be laughing in the podcast, but it's a conversation. But that's to the average, that sounds ludicrous.
Yeah.
Just to have your own space.
I'm gonna make my opportunities. If this does not exist, I'm gonna create this platform, and if you're not doing it, I'm gonna bring you to it. So you're going to buy into it. That's what I did. That's what I did.
So having done that, what did you see as your biggest risk?
Failing and losing what I had invested. Boy, you're not going to make this back. You're not going to bring it back in. So whatever you do with your savings there, if anything happened to you, you're in a bind.
And now I know it's a long time ago, 10 years. Having made that decision to create your opportunity, can you remember what were some of the areas you decided to focus on? Because at that time, I know we have about 20 stations now, but we probably had about 5 or 6.
But there was still about 10
at the time.
At the time.
Do you remember where you decided to strategically position yourself?
Youth. Children. Yeah. If you have my sons, and they will tell you, if you have my sons and you have my daughter, you have me. This is what it is. Youth. That's one. Technology. The future. They saw radio. I saw entertainment. When they started seeing entertainment, I saw edutainment.
Edutainment?
Yeah.
Education and entertainment?
Yeah. So my announcers would always say to you, one thing, but the boss always getting on and telling us, all the apps you have on your phone, download a news app. You must always be in the know. You must be able to give people information. You must be able to speak to people. Listen to me. People need to be able to listen to what you're saying. Be authentically you. You cannot be on a Lucian radio. You are Saint Lucian and you sound like a Jamaican. So I pounded that in their heads. You must be the X factor. You cannot sound like everybody else. Let's take it to technology. When everybody, and they can go back in history and check that out. When Facebook Live came out, we were the first to do it.
Facebook Live broadcast.
With a cell phone. We went on there and squeezed into a cell phone shot. And up to today, some of those things we did are memes. All right, out there. But we made it a point to go. When I went in to look for a radio license, they will tell you, if they see my proposal, and with the radio, I insisted, by the time 10 years later, we would be looking at a different form of entertainment. Right now, I'm ready to give up FM. Why? Because we're going into a new era where satellite radio, right now data is available and you just switch that on in your car. I have some friends that right now just switch on the data in their car and this is what's running through their system. So
another car radio.
Yeah. And and I have friends with radios who just listen to me online. And so I had predicted that a while back. I said to them in 10 years, but it started happening probably 7 years later.
2 quick questions. What do you think drives users to use technology, even if it's more costly, because you have to have data, you have to have a device, as opposed to having a physical radio and an FM band? Why do you think people gravitate to it?
Convenience.
Also, because somebody can argue, I have a radio at my home, it's just battery.
Are you walking on the road with your radio? You want to take your favorite radio station everywhere you go? Mobility. You can't get that FM station if you leave Saint Lucia and go to, but you want to listen to your favorite announcer. I'm going to listen to that announcer overseas. As a matter of fact, I bought a used car, an import. It doesn't go up to that frequency, but I can get them online and send it through my speakers.
That's Bluetooth.
Exactly. So that's what it is. That's what drives you. I want to hear what I want to hear when I want to hear it, and I can't carry my boombox with me. However, I have data. However, I can just listen to them live.
What are some of the key achievements you are most proud of Vybe Radio over the last 10 years?
We developed a lot of new announcers and DJs. We are the ones, we actually started off this whole on-air carnival, breakfast fete kind of thing. We're leading in that. We also had 3 carnival queens, Miss Vybe Radio, Astro Vybe Radio. I had 3 Miss Vybe Radio. We've actually put on some DJ competitions, summer competitions in studio. Those guys, came out and got jobs out of that. Okay. I think this, and for me, the fact that we have programs, it's almost as if people look to us. I, for one, I do this Real Talk program. I think you've listened to it, and people look to us, bro. We have this program, a traffic watch on a Friday, that you've actually taken part in. You've sent in your comments. And do you know that people will end up in a problem on the road with the police or a parking dispute and contact us? What should we do? What should we do? So I'm proud of that people look to us as, quote unquote, the authority on certain things. And I think it is because, we're doing something that was needed.
What's interesting, what's coming out to me in that statement, especially around your focus on edutainment, is that traditional radio was informative. There was news. There would have been programs, and then there was music and entertainment. But you sound to be doing something slightly different. Is it more practical? Is it more based on lifestyle?
Exactly, hands-on, because it was just traditional, and you said it, traditional. Now, most times, traditional, they stick within that box. This is what we're accustomed to. And if you broadcast, I broke all the rules of radio. If you're going to broadcast, you're not supposed to, cut over certain lines. You're not supposed to cross certain boundaries. And we came in and we broke the rules. We came in and we started grabbing the people who kind of no longer wanted to listen to radio. You understand? Let's get the young people in. Let's get the from 16 to 45s in. You understand? And let's do that thing. And so where you respect your foundation, because foundation is, news and give the information, government information service. Let's inform people as to what's going on out there. But then what else is going on in the world? People want to know what else beyond our 238 square miles. They wanted to know. They wanted to know about technology in entertainment. So I want my radio station, but I want to know what's going on. So we made people travel without even living in Saint Lucia.
How do you keep Vybe Radio relevant? And in that same response, I want you to talk about the future of radio.
Okay.
The future of Vybe.
We continue reinventing ourselves. I was speaking to my guys behind the scenes right now. Just this morning, we had this conversation and we said, you know what? Every year, we do something new to prove to ourselves we can do it. And then we add to this and put it out there. So you can never expect last year's breakfast fete, the year before. Every year, there's something different. We add to it. We grow this product based on what is happening, what is trending. You see? So it is not about me. I'm an old soul. I'm turning 50. All right? It's not about me. It is about what is needed out there, what is trending. So thankfully, I have younger ones under me. And they're doing pretty well. I have a 28-year-old son, but he's still 28, a 24-year-old, and a 16-year-old. And they know what's trending. And like I said earlier when we started, remember I said the youth, get them, and you have everything else falling in line. Future, of Vybe Radio? Online. Online. So that we can advertise for Walmart
In America.
and Target.
In America.
We've been listened to. Right now we're being listened to in the UAE. We have listeners in Germany. We have listeners in Spain. We have France, Italy. We have listeners worldwide. Why not advertise the places they're living, right? Why not?
As a former head of marketing, commercial head, we made the move maybe 10 years ago from traditional radio and television to more digital. One of the reasons we did that was because, unlike the US and the UK, we had very little statistics on listeners and users and viewers. What the platforms, social media platforms and the online platforms did, it gave us now data on impressions, views, engagement, clicks. And as a result, we could justify moving the budget from the FM radio to those stations where they can show us the video at so many hundred or so many thousand views. I brought this point up to show that, yes, so now we have data to make our decisions, but we were battling because the younger people who were technology savvy, we didn't think that they were the one paying the bills. You know, they were the parents who had the cash. I know you said something earlier about you would listen to where your kids were listening to, but tell us about this transition, how you monetize modern radio versus traditional radio, when typically the company I work for, a telecom company, our budget would have been one of the biggest on island, and companies like ours, corporate entities, would be who I assume you wanted to be your key customers. How did you entice them to make that move from traditional, which is radio, TV, with large viewership for news, but of course, undocumented, unsubstantiated? How did you play that game in terms of monetizing the station?
You answered the question, you know.
And I hate doing that. I
You
apologize
answered
for
the
that.
question from early. Data, research. I now have, a long time ago, we listened to a survey that came in, this media survey, that I am of the firm opinion, stings bass. All right, I don't subscribe to it, and thankfully a lot of our clients decided they don't subscribe either. You know, they heard, they see it, okay, cool, that's all. I'll give you an example. A long time ago, and I hope they don't crucify me for putting this out there. A long time ago, there were other stations, number 1, number 2, and number 3. The Wave radio station never ended up on a survey. The Wave radio station, as a matter of fact, according to them, it almost was non-existent. People, you know, they're not on the survey. They probably last, whatever. But guess what? They made more money than any of the other stations.
They're one of our preferred advertisers.
You know why? They catered to middle to upper income earners who listen to certain things that they were known for. They created, and this is why I said to you, you create your opportunities. So they created this thing. I mean, they went, but then they started competing with the others, and I think that's where the downfall happened. You know, they started competing with everybody else. No, you remain true to who you are. All right? For me, what I did was when we started this whole online and getting, we had to give data, and I was hell-bent on getting statistics. I was hell-bent on bringing information and saying, look, if you listen to FM radio, and I'm giving you 100, let's say, and this is absolutely wrong, let's say 150, 160,000 people in Saint Lucia, they're all listening to radio. Cool, yeah, great. You're missing the other 5 million out there.
Why would that matter to me? Because that's not my market.
They're coming in. We have tourists coming in all the time. why not entice them to come and buy something from you?
Depends on the product that you have.
Because they heard it from out there.
Depends on the product you have. So for me in telecoms, it would be a mobile SIM.
I was about to tell you, I landed in Dubai. I landed in Abu Dhabi. And when I landed, you know what I got?
Free SIM.
When I got into immigration, they put that SIM card in my passport.
Free SIM on the airport.
When I got out, I put it in my phone. Look, look. It had data just enough to get in touch with family and friends, to let them know I'm safe and whatnot. And guess what happened after? I found the outlets to top up that SIM. I became a customer instantly.
I had some experience because I have a telecoms background. I also knew that the authorities would have my IMIA, which is my mobile serial number, and I could be tracked. And there's no crime in Dubai. So there are other reasons, but yes, I agree. There is an opportunity. In as much as I would like to say that you made a pivot, you've always been dabbling in a few areas. When we come back, we're going to ask one concluding question about the broadcasting and radio journey before we go into why we're all here.
Daydream, I fell asleep amid the flowers for a couple of hours on a beautiful day.
Hi, I'm Ansel Mathre, founder of Calabash Condos Developments by Freedom Fund Inc. and the Caribbean's first property investing podcast. When I started some 20 years ago, it seemed nearly impossible, but BOSL believed in my vision. BOSL has truly been an amazing financial partner. And now, with the Elite Builders Capital product, BOSL has created something specifically tailored for property developers like me. So if you're interested and serious about real estate development, BOSL is the partner that truly understands your needs. They're ready to support you every step of the way.
Welcome back. Pringles, Superman HD, you were speaking about the free SIM that you got in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, while they're tracking you and all of what you're doing. Notwithstanding that, would you advise anyone right now to go into radio?
No.
If not, why so?
Listen to me. If you want to make it in radio, you have to work like really hard. Okay, you know what? Probably I shouldn't say you should not have a game plan. Do not come just like what is happening now. Think the future. It's the greatest thing though right now is the investment that would have been 10 years ago. It's a lot less now. The equipment, the technology, and all of that, it's a lot less. You know, you can get a better quality. You really don't even have to go into FM. You know, you can go. There's a world of opportunities. However, you must come with something new, and you must work hard, no matter how you spin it. When I started working radio on air, a lot of people think radio is paying you a lot. I only made $1,500 a month. I made money when I was recognized and I started getting things to endorse, nice little endorsement deals. That's when I made money. I was an ambassador for your company at one point.
Correct.
I was vexing me when I didn't really think again. But no, but this is what we so for me, if you want to go into this, get ready to work hard and come differently. Don't decide I'm just gonna come play music and make noise like everybody else. Don't do that. Get something new.
About our podcast is about 5 years old, still over 5 years old. And sometime after our first year, you came to me, come and see what you're doing. and you showed me the extension you did to your house. You told me that you were interested in going to this. What I saw, and my first impression was one, I knew you were already driven, but I also saw that same creative person who wanted to do their own thing. What you showed me was a patio, a big patio, glass railings, cable ties, and I said, but why you have that patio? And you told me that it was just a place for you to relax with your family on a Sunday afternoon. Later on, I found out, of course, that you had started dabbling in property. So tell us, when did you decide to go into property investing, and what attracted you to property?
Before I opened the radio station, I said I was going to retire at 40. That was it, 40. I knew I was going to retire at 40. And then I went and I opened the radio station. So you know that I can't do that again because I have to give it some time to breathe. All right, so I cannot do that again. I have to wait and all of that. And then it came to me that the only way to retire is if you start working in a way where your salary or your money is being made while you sleep. That's the only way to retire comfortably. And I saw a lot of people around me working. They had a house, but even after retirement, were still paying a mortgage of their pension, which was probably not even enough. I didn't want that for me. And so, upon research and looking around, and I'm thinking the only thing that is going to do what I want and put me in a position to rest before I get too old or anything like that, where you just can't enjoy what you've worked so hard for, is real estate. And I have to say this. If I don't say this, I'll be dishonest. Richard Frederick, one day, I was by Jeanette's in Moshi. And I said to him, I want to build a thing, a nice apartment building for me to rent and make money. And he said to me, I'm going to give you that advice only once for free. The other times you will have to pay me if you come to me. Don't do that. He said to me, the first thing you should do is buy a house, fix it and overturn it.
Flip it. Sell it.
Yeah, okay. Do that once or twice. And then that profit you make, then you have a very small thing to pay monthly, and you will make a profit renting.
Sounds like good advice to me.
Sounds like good advice. That's what he said to me. And I took this, I ran with it. Although, I cut calls, it took a little while to use that advice. And then he, when all of this was said and done, fast forward to now.
You're going too fast, I don't know. What was the first investment? You're going too fast, no. Our audience want you to feed them that slowly.
I bought property.
Yeah.
I bought property.
Land.
When I bought it initially, honestly, there was no big plan, I knew what I wanted, but there was no big plan. I had no direction. I had all those things in my head that I wanted to do. So whatever property I bought stayed for years, probably 15 years. I didn't do anything with it.
Tell us about when you called me to show me the patio you built by the road, your big gate. What is the thing? Explain to us what's the thinking there. Because it's a beautiful patio.
I'll tell you what. I figured it would raise the value of the property.
Okay.
And I also needed a place because of my lifestyle, the things I do, and I also needed a place to just think, to just sit and entertainment. I entertained quite a bit before, you know, I had friends. I didn't want them to be inside, and you want to kind of separate what you do.
Yes.
So initially that was it, and then I saw this and I'm thinking, this is going to bring up the value and this is going to lead to my next investment. If I bring up the value, equity, if I bring this up, this is going to lead to that next investment.
Remind me, did you have any rental apartments where you have the patio below?
No.
So then that leads us to this current project. So tell us about Petit Paradis Villas. The name, the location, how you started, what was the concept? First of all, the land. Where did you get the land?
Where?
Yeah.
Oh, right in Corinth.
Yeah.
I bought it there. I bought it in Corinth. That land, that was so much. You know, initially when I went to buy that land, I got so much back and forth for it. The owner didn't want to sell it, you know, and I waited, and then, you know, it fell in my lap. That fell in my lap, and I'm like, okay, so let me tell you the truth. When I started doing any business, I didn't have any money. I had zero. When I went for my first mortgage, I didn't have much. What I had was a level of consistency. All right. I had deposits going in. I was very disciplined. I am very disciplined when it comes to that. I go in, I deposit, and you know, I everything I earn, I did. So there was a history. The bank was good enough to me. There was a history. They saw this and decided they could take a chance. And that's what. And then, I mean, obviously, with growth and all of that, and then I have this. I have that asset that I could use. And went out to do this other thing. Initially, this place was just something that I didn't want too many neighbors encroaching and too close. I didn't want houses too close. And then, when this thing took over, I'll tell you when I really decided that this was a shot. COVID.
What happened during COVID that made you so certain that this was the right move and now's the time?
During COVID, everybody needed housing. During COVID, everybody still wanted to do the normal hotel stuff and whatnot, but they were afraid to do the distance. During COVID, I had lost every single contract on the radio. Every single contract. During COVID, the bills were still coming and no money coming in.
Let me just ask a question there. Looking back now, wouldn't radio stations be more likely to make money because people are home? There's no
During COVID,
wouldn't advertisers?
You would like to think so.
Be more like, well, I guess
everyone was on shutdown.
Yeah, so there's no businesses.
Businesses on shutdown. They're thinking the place is shut down. What are we advertising for?
Yeah.
The only persons that would advertise at that point would be not advertise. PSAs coming from the ministry, health, and all of that. You know, advisories. Don't do this, don't do that. 6 feet this, 6 feet that. So that's it. You know, everybody has shut down.
Yeah.
All right, and then, but people still needed housing. That is the one business that kept making money. I mean, apart from the necessities and what, that is the one business that continued making money.
What was the phrase? Shelter in place. People couldn't travel.
Exactly.
So a lot of apartments were full, right?
And then they decided, hey, I want that same vibe. I want to come in and enjoy. And it started booming.
So, okay, so COVID time, you realized that was a business which survived even through that crisis. Although there were some moratoriums on mortgage payments. So for landlords and myself, as well as rent payments. Some countries, the government paid the rent for them as well. It's a lower rent. But that. So with that,
they got paid, right?
Yeah, got paid. Yeah, but remember, some of those people didn't. Some of them lost their jobs. So again, so theoretically, what should have happened is that people would not have money to pay rent?
The government.
So just coming up, so during COVID you made that decision. What decision did you make and what happened for you right after COVID?
I decided, look, after this, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put this building in.
Because you bought the land already?
Yes, I already have the land. It's sitting there.
Our viewers always tell me that we skip the part. How did you finance the land?
Initially, You want me to say that?
You don't have to give names, but just give our viewers and listeners an idea.
I want to say that I did again. I do stupid things sometimes. I paid off this land, and I got blasted for it, by the bank manager saying, "But why would you just pay this with your money?" I said, "I want to make it back when I bought it. Why would you just pay this? Take a loan on it. Take a mortgage on this. Do this, do this." And I said, "But if I can do it now, let's do it."
Why did you take that position?
One, I didn't want a second mortgage.
Okay.
And number two, I felt that initially, truth be told, when I put it there and I figured I cleared, I figured, let me leave it just in case one of my children want to go to school. Mm-hmm. And I use this, as collateral and whatnot. This is what it was, and then, I went into this, and years later, I'm thankful that I did this crazy move. I made this crazy move. I'm not saying that this is the best move to do, because I have friends who would say to you, I have accountants who would say to you, you want to remain as liquid as you can.
We have partners and wives. What did your wife say? Because you have a wife, you have a partner in there. What is her position about you paying off that piece of land when you didn't need to?
The type of person she is, she will speak and say what she believes. Mm. I think you should do this and that and that. I don't think this is a good idea. I think this can be done better. I think this and that. However, if I decide this is what I am going to do because of this, she would support it. And that's the key here. We do not have to agree. We never had to agree on the next move. What we do know though is if the next move is going to be made, we are doing it. We're supporting it. That's what it was. That's what it was.
Some of our listeners right now will say you're very fortunate because not all partnerships are like that. Some of them are a little more contentious, and when you have a disagreement between a husband and a wife or spouses,
then you're on your own.
You're on your own, and if it goes wrong, you get reminded of that.
Yeah.
And that could lead to
no matter what.
All right.
That's how it works.
So your partner supports you. What did you decide to build there and why?
What did I decide to build?
Yeah. Because you have a blank piece of land that you made the bold move to pay for cash, and it's there sitting, now it's there. What did you decide to build there and why?
I wanted initially 3 stories. I wanted to just go up. I had this thing in my head that this is what I want to do. But then I said, you know what? Let's be more practical. So did a plan, something that's affordable. I say, you know what? I'm going to do this. We're going to do 2 nice things flat on the ground. Mm-hmm. And it's going to start. And then we're going to go up. When the time comes and whatnot, we're going to go up and that. And when we did the level of the land, it ended up that from the road going back, it ended up higher.
So it's not flat at all?
It's not flat at all. You can see it's flat.
What does that mean? What does that mean to you now? Then?
And then one time I'm like, oh my God, what do we do then? But then again, I look at everything as opportunity. So I'm thinking, well, we're only going to do 2. If we get that level that can accommodate 1, let's put in another one. So now we have 3. Mm-hmm. And later on, we'll add to the top. Yeah. But then when I sat down and I thought about it, I'm thinking, boy, so there is a budget. This is the budget and this is it. I'm not going any further than that budget. And then when I looked at this, I'm thinking, boy, if I'm to wait, then I'm going to have to reactivate this site, bring workers back in to prepare this site, then the same thing that is going to be making the income, I'm going to have to shut it down. And I still have a mortgage to pay. So I'm going to have to shut it down. So I might as well just do everything one time. Close my eyes, bite the bullet, increase the budget, and just do everything.
Hold on, you have not even told us what were your intentions. Okay, so you told us how many you're doing, but what type of building were you going to do there, and what was that building supposed to do for you?
Okay, well, I just wanted a nice modern-looking building with nice grounds, but again, short-term rental.
Short-term rental.
Yeah,
okay.
short-term rental. I never intended on having any long-term. I still don't do long-term.
Because?
I'm scared of it. I'm terrified. I'm terrified of doing short-term.
Long-term?
I'm terrified of doing short-term.
As well?
And even more terrified of doing long-term.
You shouldn't be in the business then.
I know, right? But I'm normally...
Why are you afraid?
I'm normally very terrified of whatever I'm going to do because I know that I take some crazy risks and I go in. I mean, thank you. I'm a believer. I believe in God. And I pray a lot. And I thank God that so far I've not... And I guess because of the determination, the support system, you know. But I am afraid that I don't want the... I believe that long-term increases your wear and tear.
It's true.
I believe that long-term... Also, there's more time and more room for conflict that I don't want to deal with. Yeah. So those are the things that I kind of wanted to stay away from when it comes to long-term. Not saying that if the price is right and you come in proper long-term, I think I'm taking it, but the price must be right for me to take that stress.
Long corporate, good corporate rental.
Exactly.
You're taking that tomorrow.
You know, as a matter of fact, let me advertise it here. As a matter of fact, if you're going to take it, you're not going to pay for electricity, cable, nothing. I just come with your clothes. And you know, that's what it is. I did not intend on putting a pool at that time yet.
So your initial idea, 2 short-term units.
That's it. 1 bedroom each.
On a flat, 2 short-term 1 bedroom unit on a flat grade, but you realize that there's a slope. Mm-hmm. You end up doing what? 4 units now. With a pool. So it's three 1 bedrooms. Describe the building for us right now.
So right now, I have 3 1 bedroom modern units. When you go in there, I think probably we'll show you all later on modern units. You go inside of there, everything user friendly, you know, and 1 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom unit, all right, with pull out sofas to accommodate a little more and whatnot. And also a swimming pool. We have a nice enough swimming pool with it's about 12 feet wide by 20 feet long, you know, so we have a nice enough swimming pool, parking available, and all of that. And it's also children friendly. Okay, it's a very nice, quiet neighborhood, close to everything. We like 10 minutes away from Rodney Bay, right? Especially with our new highway. Yeah. 10 minutes away from Rodney Bay. And yeah, basically that's what it is. You come inside something new and neat and, you know, fresh. Not like you haven't seen it before, but also you cannot beat the hospitality you're about to get. We accommodate our people with hotel transfers, airport transfers, discounted tours and all kinds. So yeah.
We're going to take a break now. When we come back, we're going to talk about the financing of that building, how we decided to scrap the original plan of doing 2 at the bottom and then 2 on top, and find out why he changed and what he had to do.
Hi, I'm Ansel Mathre, founder of Calabash Condos Developments by Freedom Fund Inc. and the Caribbean's first property investing podcast. When I started some 20 years ago, it seemed nearly impossible, but BOSL believed in my vision. BOSL has truly been an amazing financial partner. And now, with the Elite Builders Capital product, BOSL has created something specifically tailored for property developers like me. So if you're interested and serious about real estate development, BOSL is the partner that truly understands your needs. They're ready to support you every step of the way.
Welcome back. So Kwency, you decided to scrap the idea of the 2 units and do 4, bite the bullet, as you've always done, take a bold move. What was your experience like in getting financing?
Boy, I don't know that it was hard. It wasn't a hard thing to do. The process is long. They did it. I think like I said, the ease of doing business is not easy in Saint Lucia. And again, I don't know, the banks were not all jumping into the Airbnb thing as yet. I don't know. It's only 2 years now that they just get that Airbnb fever. Yeah. You know, everybody wants to,
Airbnb package.
Yeah. Everybody wants to do an Airbnb package. But getting to the finance, thankfully, I have a good enough relationship with the bank that can I see why they live?
Yeah,
I have a good enough relationship with right now with Republic, but it started off as a Scotia journey. I was with a couple places before. One of those places disappointed me a very long time ago when I wanted my first mortgage. When I went in and I asked them, I said to them, I'm telling you all exactly what they said. I said to them, and at the time that was a big thing. I said to them, at least give me 9% interest. Imagine that. Yeah, right? I said, give me 9%. And they said to me, boy, at the time it was 12 and 15%. I'm sure you can remember that. They said to me, boy, I don't know if we can give you that. You don't know who they just give that? People like Shasni and them. I'm serious. That's what they said to me. Yeah, those were the exact words. And I said, but that doesn't add up. They can afford to pay it better than me. Those are my words, but to me, they can afford to pay it better than me. Like, what? Like, really?
So the people who have get the better terms.
Get the better terms.
What about the process you thought made it long, and why you thought it was long?
I think, to be very honest, it's the communication.
Right.
Communication is a big thing, and certain processes will slow certain things down. Obviously, you have to go in with a plan, an approved plan.
Yes.
For a loan that you do not have yet, so you need money
to get the plans approved.
Yeah. And some of those plans are expensive.
Yes.
Yeah, if you want to get a proper plan, you pay the money. I guess per square foot, you pay your plan. Then you have to go around and get all those approvals. And then the approvals take a while. Then you come to the bank and then wait for the bank's approvals now and all of that. And sometimes, it didn't work out that way for me, but I know sometimes you have to now get money that you don't have. You feel me?
Let me just add some process. That's so true. For the benefit of our viewers, in Saint Lucia, plans development are range anywhere from $3 a square foot for a draftsman all the way up to $11 a square foot for an architect. And now, architects are charging a percentage of the full project cost of up to 3%. So okay, you have your plans, you have your approval. It took a long time. You have the financing. What were some of the key challenges you had during the construction phase? Even starting with a contractor.
Forget the construction phase. Let's first go the DCA phase.
The approval process.
The approval process. Initially, there was a thing where if you're going to build a property, the property is supposed to be, you're supposed to have 1.5 parking for each room and all of that. And I remember going a whole back and forth about this and saying, but we have big hotels with very small parking spaces. And what's your argument here? And somebody said to me, well, the reality of the situation is there are guests taking taxi and there's so what makes you think each one of my guests will have a rental? And but thankfully, I got people working with me, tourism, everybody collaborated and the stars aligned. Getting a contractor wasn't that hard. All right, it wasn't that hard at all. I more or less, I knew one. all right, and I saw his work before. A Structure Inc., Darren. I saw his work before, and so I figured, hey, let's do this. And I on my other property and whatnot, I had done a lot of work that I didn't want. I wanted to take that stress away from me.
Yeah.
So I wanted somebody who had gotten everything. I chose that one. I chose that one because one, he had the experience building the modern style that I wanted. Number two, he had equipment that that would, I guess, cut some of the costs out because you have transportation costs and all of that in building. So you want that kind of thing. You want a proper package, somebody that can do just about everything.
A one-stop shop.
A one-stop shop. So this is what influenced my decision when I was choosing a contractor. All right. The building process was still a headache.
What are some of the key challenges that you had?
Expect differences in opinions. Expect to fight with your contractor because we did have a few fights. Expect to fight. Expect that certain things you want, certain things I wanted. It was just in my head, and the practicality of it just wasn't there. I decided I want this, I want that. So if you might want a skyscraper that really cannot
Own
fit,
way as usual. You wanted your own way as
my
usual.
own way. As you know me,
As usual. Our audience know you too.
Yeah, I want my own way.
Yeah.
This is what I do. This is what I want to do. This is what I want, and I expect it to be done. This is what it is. So sometimes, I could have been very stubborn, and sometimes you will meet people that are stubborn and workmen. And let me tell you, jump high, jump low. There's some people, and I say that with no apologies.
Yeah.
There's some people that will never work for me again.
Yeah.
This is the harsh reality we will need to face. Sometimes you get poor workmanship, and sometimes you get people who are just indisciplined and reliable. All right. So even though, yes, I would probably use the same contractor, there's certain people that I would decide, hey, I don't want this one, I don't want that one. All right? I make no bones about that. There are certain people who would never work for me again.
In terms of your expectation before the project and your end result, how wide is that gap, and what was realized and what you felt didn't go according to your plan?
Truth is, the timing of the project was fine. I expected it to take longer than it did. All right, I just conditioned myself that it would take longer. The project was done in about 9 months. Yeah, about 8 to 9 months. The project was done. And then, I just kept it there because what I wanted wasn't done as yet. I wanted the grounds to be right. I wanted the pool to be in. So the building was done, but the pool wasn't in there yet. I wanted all of this to be in, and then I changed my mind completely about one apartment downstairs, and I decided I want a lounge instead because I wanted somewhere right next to the pool for people to chill, watch TV, play a little pool. You have children in the pool, you want to sit in that lounge and watch them. That's what I wanted. So this changed, and I changed my mind about a lot of things. Like I said, I'm not hard to work for. Anybody will tell you I'm not hard to work for. However, I can be very, in my dreaming and in my thing, and this is what I want. So it's certain things that I did certain things delayed, but it wasn't just, on my part. Certain things, sometimes materials, certain things, those were the delays. But otherwise, nah,
What advice you have for somebody watching this podcast who wants to do exactly what you did, have a piece of land or want to go and buy a piece of land to do this whole thing? What advice you have for them?
Put a plan in place according to what you want. Do not cut any corners. This is what you want. And I want what I want. So I'm encouraging you to be stubborn. I'll tell you why. Because at the end of the day, when everybody clears the place, the spot, the building, you have to live with it. Your partner has to live with it. The people you're going to bring in, they too have to live with it. And you have to be happy with it. You don't want to put something down that every time you go in, you complain about it. Put a plan down. Have a meeting first. Have a meeting first with your contractor and whoever else is involved. Have that meeting and put down exactly what you want. And it's either you can do it or you cannot do it. Forget the friendship and all that. It's business. Forget everything else. It's either you can or you cannot. If you cannot, or if you think it's not practical, show me why or show me something better. Get them to do that. The minute this happens and you document it, you have something to go back on. You have something to go back to. This is a mortgage that you're paying. You must be happy doing it. You must be happy, even though you start to gain some money, but the money is not worth the stress sometimes. Do it right the first time. Have as many meetings as you should have, as you must have, before actually starting. Because when it starts, yes, there may be a few tweaks that have to be made. This is building. This is business in general. However, do it right. What they say? Cut twice.
Measure twice.
Measure twice.
Cut once.
Cut once. There you go. Measure twice. Measure thrice. Cut once.
How does your broadcasting / entrepreneurial experience or journey, how does that impact your property development journey now? Or how did it impact it?
It's positive because I'm able to now market on my own. I'm well known. I have with my platforms, with the broadcasting, well over 160,000 followers. Both here and abroad, we have found and we know how to distribute the information. We create our own stuff. We create all the nice little beautiful videos that you see from scratch, not just with using little software. We create our own ads. So it helps. So in terms of the distribution of information and all of that, it's a beautiful thing. So they were all, think about it. My billboards on the highway, the electronic billboard, I have real estate people advertising on those billboards. So it helps.
We start to wrap up now. A key question. What does financial freedom mean to you?
If you're not good, then you can take care of you medically. Financial freedom in a nutshell just means no stress, less stress. It's a good feeling for if somebody's not well, for you to be able to jump up and say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take care of that. It's a good feeling to not have to get up and go to a job you do not want to go to. We have that a lot. I really want to do that, but you have to. It's a good feeling to do something that you're happy doing because you want to do it and not just because you have to do it.
Okay, as we close here in our last section, rapid fire, I'm going to present two choices and you just answer your preference in one word. Radio or real estate?
Really?
That's the question.
One word, both?
One word.
Both.
Well, I won't even ask you entrepreneur or employee.
Oh, entrepreneur.
Build or buy?
That's a hard question, though.
One word.
Now, after my experience, buy and modify.
Wow. Long-term or short-term rentals?
Short-term all the way.
One luxury villa or 10 apartments?
One luxury villa.
Wow. A favorite book or business-related show you've seen?
A favorite book or business-related show I've seen? I don't know. My favorite book is probably Power. Yeah.
Favorite place in the Caribbean outside of Saint Lucia?
In the Caribbean?
Outside of Saint Lucia.
I've been to Barbados so many times, but it's not Barbados. Barbados have memories. I would probably say, gosh, I'm not sure, man.
Too many choices.
Too many. Jamaica is beautiful.
Okay.
I love Jamaica. Barbados is like a second home to me. So it's between the two of them. Barbados, Jamaica.
And last
Saint
question.
Lucia. Are you telling me not Saint Lucia? Saint Lucia.
And last question. If you could sit with your 30-year-old self, what advice would you give Kwency back then?
Boy, buy land and build now. Buy land, buy properties, build now. It can only appreciate, brother. What are you thinking? You want to buy a car? You want to do this? Are you mad? I'm speaking to Kwency now. Buy land, build, start renting it out. Everything else will depreciate, not what you have. Watch it appreciate.
Okay. You've been listening to another episode of the Caribbean Property Investment Podcast. It's Carnival time in Saint Lucia. We're in the studios of Vybe Radio, an amazing podcast. We remind you to share the episode, subscribe to the channel, like, follow us on IG, Facebook, everywhere. This one is a good one. So look out for it and see you in the next one.
Congratulations and thank you for tuning in to the Caribbean's first property investing podcast. We want to help Caribbean people create wealth and achieve financial freedom through property investing. Our show provides general advice based on personal experiences and is for educational purposes only. For more information, resources, and past episodes, visit us at CaribbeanPropertyInvesting.com. Remember to click the subscribe button so you never miss a show. Let's go.